think skill stacking is one of the most important things you can do. And one video I made recently was about becoming multi-dimensional, right? So one of the quotes that you love and I love as well by Da Vinci, which is one of your mentors, you say, right, was the understand the science of art, understand the art of science, right? And it all connects. For people to be not only successful in business, but in the rest of their lives, how important is it to develop the ability to connect like opposing ideas or one topic from one area into another area? Do you think that's a useful skill, and how would someone go about developing it?
Well, the reason that everything connects to everything else is because you're interacting with it. So it's how you perceive life and who you are that's going to dictate how you see everything. You'll interact with your marriage, your relationships, your business partners, your employees, your colleagues, the same way you operate with everybody because it's who you are.
Mm-hmm.
The reason skill stacking is extremely important is because it gives you the ability to, one, become multidimensional, which we talked about. Two, it's understanding that the skills that you're stacking can also be applied to different areas of life. That's why I call them interchangeable or interlinked skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
How you sell, for example, you can utilize selling in your relationship with your children, in the relationship with your business partners, in your contract deals. Persuasion, you can utilize it in multiple verticals of life. So you can take your toolkit or your set of skills and apply it to multiple dimensions, your ability to negotiate, your ability to market. You know, that's why skill stacking is super important at an early age, because it positions you and gives you an advantage over people that are very niched in the marketplace. You see a lot of people that, you know, practice some sort of profession. They're a dentist or they're a doctor, but their financial literacy skills are terrible. Why? Because they're very unidimensional. And in life, being well-rounded, fully dimensional is what's going to give you the advantage. So it's about establishing a solid foundation of interchangeable, interlinked skills. And then two, it's determining that, once again, you can't learn everything. So what are the things that you want to learn, and why do you want to learn them? There needs to be a reason behind it. And once you find a reason, and it doesn't always have to have an ROI, it can merely be something that you enjoy to do towards an end goal, then you start mastering them. And once everything comes together, you end up like somebody that is like Leonardo da Vinci, a polymath, a master of the arts, the sciences. He wasn't perfect at everything. There's things, 99% of the things of the world he never even understood or could do.
Mm-hmm.
But he was an expert with anatomy. He was an artist. He was a painter. He was an architect. So you can master different things. But once again, today we live in a society where you have to incorporate financial equations, because money is what's going to give you the ability to actually go out and build multidimensional skill sets.
Agreed. Well put. I think overall it just makes you an interesting person. Unidimensional people.
And it gives you the ability to experience life better.
Yeah, because you can relate to anything, right? You can draw on your experience from business in your relationship or in your fitness journey back to something you learned about stoicism. So we talk about intention, and most people are unintentional, completely unintentional. I think winning in life is subjective because people can want different things, but I do think it's intentional. How do you go about being more intentional?
Winning is about accomplishing your goal. If you say you're going to accomplish it, if you accomplish it, you win. If you don't accomplish it, you lose.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. No philosophy, no science. If you say you're going to do something, you don't do it, you lost.
Mm-hmm.
You're a loser until you do the winning habit,
Yep.
until you perform the winning behavior, and until you receive the winning outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Winners win, losers lose. It's very simple, bro. You do it or you don't do it.
And what do you think about purpose? Do you think everyone is given a unique gift that they are on the journey of uncovering? Or do you think that is their gift is discovered through experience? Or do you think there is no gift? You are thrown into different facets of life, and then whatever you develop and become the best at, that's the path that you go down.
I guess purpose is whatever you want it to be. You can have a deep intrinsic purpose, and you can have a very shallow basic one.
Mm-hmm.
If your purpose is to have a great life and you don't care about money, then your life will portray that. If your purpose is to help a lot of people and you want to make money in order to do that, then your life will portray that. If you want to be a family man and that's your purpose, then your life will portray that. There isn't necessarily a right or a wrong when it comes to purpose. It all comes down to, is your life purpose driven? What is purpose? Goal. Goal orientation, right? Do you have somewhere that you're headed? Most people find themselves in a place of distress because they find themselves in a place of limbo. They don't know where they're going. If they just had something, even that's why people find so much confidence and so much, mental stability in the gym, because it's something that they can look forward to, that they know it exists, that they can accomplish. But it's a great stepping stool. It's a great beginning point. But you have to have that purpose, that goal setting in order to be able to navigate life. Purpose is extremely important because it gives you aim, it gives you direction.
Yeah, I think it was Aristotle or Seneca or something that said that the man who knows not where he goes, no wind is favorable, right? So you have no idea if an opportunity comes to you, but you don't know where your purpose is heading, you don't know if that opportunity is good or bad for you, because you don't have any idea of where the port you're sailing to. So yeah, I think also purpose is discovered through experience, but your intuition is always telling you what your purpose is. So that would be my next question. What do you think intuition is?
These are crazy questions. Intuition, yeah, your ability to perceive. Your ability to be aware of the information that's around you.
Yeah.
However sensitive you are to the information is determined on whether your receiver of information, which we were talking about, the brain, the mind, you as an individual, is full of static, or if it's ready to receive information. That's why prayerful states, are so revered, because you are positioning yourself to receive inspiration and things of this nature. Yeah, that's a tough one, bro.
Yeah.
You're asking me some deep questions. I like it.
Yeah, I think intuition is our sixth sense, and the senses are not exactly to be trusted, because we know that, for example, with our vision, we can only see 0.1% or something of the light spectrum. So that's proof enough that you can't trust your senses. But I do believe your intuition is your sixth sense that's always talking to you through the layers of your programming that's been installed in your mind. And it's just about chipping away. I think it's Michelangelo who speaks about the angel that's in the marble block. And he already sees it before he starts carving. And I think it's the same with yourself. It's the same with your purpose. It's already inside of you, but you just have to chisel away the programming and the layers. And everything comes down to programming, layers, programming. You're just a collection of experiences. So intuition is really the one thing you can only trust, in my opinion. Do you think intuition can be altered? Do you think other people can?
100%.
Yeah?
Yeah, you can disrupt intuition by confusing people. Absolutely, happens all the time. That's why most people live unhappy lives.
Well, happiness. You touched on it on a episode I saw recently. What do you think about happiness? What do you think? And you said in the episode that, what if we were not here to be happy? Can you expand on that?
Yeah, life is a full range of emotions. You're not here to pursue happiness. It's not that experiencing happiness isn't something that you shouldn't want more than experiencing pain. Obviously, I'm going to want pleasure more than I want pain. It only makes sense. But life is a range of emotions.
Yeah.
To not want to experience something, one, is inevitable. But two, it's the fear of the pain that comes attached to that you don't want. When you understand that that's naturally a part of life, you embrace it and you navigate through it, because that's what life has to offer you. And the fact that you're alive and you get to experience it is the gift, whether it at the time seems enjoyable or not.
Do you think people are wrong for chasing happiness?
I mean, it's a fleeting thing. You can chase it. You chase things that you can't catch. You don't chase things that belong to you.
Yeah.
Right? So people chase happiness because they think that that's what they need, when in reality, happiness is just a byproduct of becoming the best version of yourself. So instead of chasing the emotion, become the type of person that is experiencing that emotion, and you can be in that state more consistently.
And people would link generally happiness to a lot of money or a lot of fame, right? That's what people generally lean towards. What do people not know about having the money and how it doesn't really fulfill you in terms of the happiness?
It's not the money. What is money? What is fame? It's just leverage. What people want is leverage. Leverage to be able to do what they want, say what they want, have what they want, whenever they want. Freedom. That's what people want. Today, we just happen to have different tools in order to get them. But once again, 500 years ago, I could have all the money in the world. A warlord could come in, take over my land, and no amount of money would take care of me. He would just take it and pillage it. So money isn't necessarily the ultimate beacon of what people are actually looking for. People are looking for leverage to become free. And you don't need much to be free. You don't need much in order to have leverage. You need to have financial stability, not be in debt, have net positive income versus your expenditure, and give yourself this time, space, freedom to be able to create, think, and find solutions to new possibilities and find alternatives to a better life. It's about removing the static. That's the freedom. That's the freedom. You can do it and achieve it with very little. The peasants back in the feudal age, they only worked 140 days out of the year. When we call people peasants here, they get mad. They're working more than the peasants used to. It's even worse.
Wow. Is fame something that you, now being in the position that you're in now, I think you're quite well positioned in terms of fame. You have a lot of leverage. Do you think now past this point where you're at, if you continue to grow, you think it's going to start having some more negative effects than positive effects?
Depends on if I'm ready for it. It all depends on if you can handle the pressure, you can handle the heat. It's what it takes to get to the top. There's people fighting for it.
There's a theory I learned about recently called a panopticon, and it's the way a prison is set up, right? And they have a central tower, and then the guard is in the center of the tower, and all the cells are surrounding it, and the guard has a light that he shines on all the people. So the prisoners can't tell when they're being looked at. So that means they alter their behavior at all times to behave. And that's what some people have compared fame to. So when you're in the public eye, you have to alter your behavior at all times. Do you feel that way?
No, you just have to make sure that the person that's in front of the camera is the person that's behind the camera. Most people are just fake.
Agreed.
There you go. So just don't be fake.
Yeah.
You have nothing to hide, you're chilling.
And related to that that's how I feel like the government operates, is we police ourselves through fear. So it's kind of like becoming the invisible eye, like George Orwell's 1984.